Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to take a look at just how influential the Brexit ghouls really are in the UK, as research seems to keep showing that the British public are increasingly moving out of step with their hateful rhetoric. The latest reports are of the public continuing to view immigration more positively, much more positively than when the Brexiteers got their hooks into the national debates even. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel. So, I think it'd be easy to think that we're facing an uphill battle in countering the nonsense and bile that comes out of so much of our media and politics these days. The Conservatives, under pressure from Reform UK and from their own sort of forces within, are pushing culture wars in a desperate attempt to shore up their right flank, despite the fact that it's not working, and that they're positively hemorrhaging votes from the centre. You know, the Conservative Party, I don't know what supporters thought it used to be. It's not that anymore. You know, they're trying to push the idea that immigration is the worst of all evils and that every Brexit deal or even memorandum of understanding is worth the entire GDP of the other signatory to us in trade. That's what they say. This memorandum of understanding with Florida, which, by the way, is just an agreement on when there are trade talks, because you don't have trade talks with an individual state, it's the US government. When there are trade talks, Florida would like us to talk about these things. Good plan. But no, apparently this is worth $1.4 trillion worth of trades to us. Right. But, you know, given that if you believe the Tories and their client media, our trade must now stand at like 4 times our GDP. You have to wonder where all the money's going and why our actual volumes of trade are so low. But the nonsense just doesn't seem to be cutting through. The latest news this week was of research carried out by the European Social Survey, which has reported that British views on immigration have completely turned around. It's a very interesting sequence to note here. So in 2002, when the first survey was published, the survey was carried out in 2001, just 17% of Brits were positive about the economic benefits of immigration. Just 20% thought it made Britain a better place to live. And 33% thought it was culturally enriching, probably because we like the food. The latest report says that 59% think immigration is positive for the economy. 56% think it makes Britain a better place to live. And 59% think it enhances our cultural life. Now, when you consider that every single one of those numbers is more than the 52%, which is the clear marker for will of the people, well, where's the will of the people? So not only a huge increase, but a majority of people in the UK are now positive about the benefits of immigration in many ways. This is despite having anti-immigration rhetoric rammed down their throats for so many years, and particularly since 2016. But I'll tell you what I find really interesting, because you wonder what caused this change. Now, it doesn't seem to have been Brexit itself. This happened despite Brexit. Like, Brexit seemed to make no difference, because in 2016, the year of the Brexit referendum, the figures were already much improved from that first report in 2002. 44% thought immigration was good for the economy, 39% that it made life better, 46% that it improved our culture. Now, of course, those results of the survey would have been done in 2015 there, but it's like our attitudes were improving anyway. They were already getting there. And the rise of the Brexit gobshite in 90% of our national discourse did nothing to dampen that change in attitude. Didn't stop it. Certainly didn't reverse it. It just carried chugging along. It's like just the experience of living has changed that attitude. Now, as I always say in situations like this, a majority of public feeling on a particular issue doesn't really mean anything politically. It doesn't mean a sea change in political thinking is mandated. Not everyone's views are as important in elections. That is the nature of a few things, with the major factor being our first past the post system. But the fact that these attitudes are becoming more positive, that they did not stop becoming more positive as a result of Brexit or the poisoning of debate in the media, means that the British public are not falling into lockstep behind these hateful ghouls just because they've got the loudest voices. On specifically Brexit polling itself, we can see that the public continue to regret Brexit and increasingly want it reversed in some way or other. This despite the fact that the Brexiteers have had it all their own way over the past few years. They've had their lies propagated by the media. Like, even the media that wasn't willing to tell the lies itself, like the BBC, nonetheless platformed these people and didn't call out their lies when they were told. They've had a pandemic and a war in Europe to hide Brexit behind. But despite all of that, the public have not joined their bandwagon. In fact, they're moving further away. The latest YouGov poll carried out in August showed that more people think that Brexit is not done than think it is done. Even Leave voters, more people think there should be a referendum in the next 10 years than not. So although there are still significant numbers of people who are still thinking, no, we need to give it time, we need to give it time. Nonetheless, a good chunk of the population are still thinking, yes, but at some point we should evaluate it and ask the public what to do next. In terms of thinking that leaving the EU was the right or wrong decision, those who think it was wrong massively outnumber those who think it was right, and the gap stands every chance of widening further still. Polling like this is very positive because it means that the public don't always just swallow what the most organised gobshites are telling them. We know that the Tories' culture wars aren't working because they're being killed in the polls. But when you even look at this is more targeted polling and it's on specific attitudes and it tells a story of a population that's capable of being bombarded with messages about political attitudes in an incredibly one-sided way and still replying, no, that's bollocks. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.